My name is Sarah, and I'll be leading us through a Yoga for Recovery class today. I truly believe that the secret to overall well-being is a regular yoga and meditation practice. This DVD is a gift to you from our team at BeaconHouse. Use this gift as you continue your journey through a lifetime of recovery. Beginning in a seated position, connecting into our breath, slowly sipping in the inhale through the nose, and then slowly releasing the exhale. Beginning to check in with the body, noticing any areas that are holding on to tension or stress. Becoming aware of these areas and continue to lead our breath to these areas throughout our practice. Now beginning to find small movements with our breath, rocking forward on our inhale into our cat stretch, and then with the palms on the knees, exhale, rocking back into cow stretch. Again, our inhale pulls us forward into cat. Slow exhale brings us into cow. On our next inhale, we will sweep our arms over the head, wringing out the spine as we exhale, twisting from side to side. Returning to center, reaching the fingertips long. On our exhale, release the right palm down to the floor, just away from the hip, pressing down into the mat as we lengthen the sides of the body. Inhale will draw us back through center, and exhale will move us to our other side. Trying to expand through the rib cage as we inhale. Slowly drawing ourselves into an all fours position, taking a moment to stack the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Keeping the core strong as we inhale, lift the opposite arm to leg. Actively reaching out through the fingertips and flexing through the heel of the foot. Imagine the spine lengthening as we move with the breath, alternating from side to side. Pressing the hips back to the heels, taking the knees wide and letting the toes touch, resting for a breath in wisdom pose. On our next inhale, lifting again to the hands and knees, moving into our cat and cow stretch. Letting this movement be led through the rib cage. As we inhale, lift the spine, the shoulders up towards the sky. As we exhale, completely let the ribs lower down towards the floor, continuing with this movement on our own breath. Gently releasing the hips all the way back to the heels, resting in wisdom pose. Exploring our first downward facing dog, gently tucking the toes and lifting the hips skyward, letting the head be heavy, softening the jaw, allowing the gaze to follow down towards the toes. Spreading through the fingertips, beginning to roll our weight towards the thumb and the first finger, drawing pressure out of the shoulders and down the back. On our next inhale, we'll move into a low lunge position, stepping the right foot forward, lowering the left knee. Inhale, lifting the fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, slowly pressing the palms down past the hips. Again, inhale, sweeping the fingertips towards the sky. And again, as we exhale, sinking deeper into the forward knee. Continuing to move on our breath for 3 more cycles. On our next exhale, exploring a twist through the spine, drawing the palms together at our heart center, and then with a full exhale, twist left elbow in towards the right forward knee. Finding a small pulse of the breath here, deepening us into our pose, deepening us into the twist. Imagine wringing out the spine. On the next exhale, releasing our twist and allow the arms to frame the front foot. Sending our breath into the hamstrings up through the back of the forward leg. Our inhale draws the back body up into an arch similar to our cat stretch. Our slow release of the exhale allows the spine to lengthen forward over the leg, deepening into the hamstring. Again, our inhale draws the back body up through cat. Slow exhale releases us forward into cow stretch. A few cycles of breath here in our half splits pose, then leading the right leg back to our downward facing dog. Again, connecting into our breath and downward facing dog, spreading through the palms, maybe pedaling through the heels. Our next exhale will lead the left foot forward between the palms, lowering the right knee to the ground. Inhale sweeps the fingertips towards the sky, and exhale brings us a little deeper into the stretch. And inhale, rise. Exhale. Finding a few rounds of breath here in our low lunge position. And then on our next exhale, leading the right elbow towards the left knee, connecting into the breath as we pulse a little deeper into our twist. With an exhale, we release the twist, placing the palms alongside the forward knee, encouraging the hips back to stack over the knee in our half splits pose. Letting the body move deeper into the pose with each exhale. Gently stepping back into our downward facing dog. Finding 5 full breaths here. Connecting into the breath. And spreading through the palms. Finding a little pulse here. Inhale lifts us just slightly. Exhale, encouraging the heels towards the floor. Our next inhale will slowly begin to walk the feet forward to the very top of the mat, taking as many little steps as we need to, exploring the hamstrings and keeping the knees as bent as we need to keep the fingertips connected to the mat, allowing the body to gently sway here side to side, exploring all of the strings up through the backs of the legs. Inhaling, rising slowly to standing, actively reaching through the fingertips, and taking 3 cycles of breath here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, draw through the heart center. Inhale, rise, and this time exhale, slowly folding all the way forward to touch the earth, stepping the left foot all the way back into our low lunge position. Exhale takes the right foot back to meet the left in our downward facing dog. Now moving through our Surya Namaskar sun salutations on our own breath. Inhale takes the left foot forward to lunge, and exhale, let the right foot follow to a forward fold. Inhale, reaching skyward. Exhale to our heart center. Continuing with our salutations, warming up the body for a few more cycles of breath. Meeting in downward facing dog, pausing here for a few rounds of breath. Remembering we can always rest in wisdom pose if we need a break from our practice. Returning to our practice whenever we're ready. Our next inhale leads the right foot forward to Warrior One. Taking a moment here to set up the pose. Setting the front foot with intention, gently rooting through the back heel, finding a small pulse here with the breath. The inhale lifts us just slightly. Exhale, we find this rooting sensation down through the feet. Our next exhale will open the hips to our Warrior Two pose. Again, connecting into the breath. Building a bit of heat through the body as we deepen with the breath. Again, inhale lifts us slightly. Exhale deepens us into the pose. Our next inhale draws us into a reverse warrior, sending the left palm down the thigh. Right fingertips reach towards the sky. Our exhale will take us into a lunge twist, letting the left fingertips touch down to the earth as the right fingertips reach towards the sky. Pause here for just a breath. And then gently stepping back to our downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here in our downward facing dog. Begin pressing into the palms. This time we'll begin to lead the left foot forward. Rooting down through the heels, setting up our warrior one position. Finding the pulse of the breath, we inhale, let the fingertips reach towards the sky. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the pose. Beginning to open the hips, finding our warrior two position. Finding a little movement with the breath. Beginning to send the right fingertips down the back thigh. Inhale, let the left fingertips reach all the way up towards the sky. Slowly taking the fingertips down towards the floor. Again, finding our twist here through the spine. Rotating the upper body in towards the knee. Finding a little pulse with the breath. Deepening us into our twist. Letting the left fingertips touch down to the mat. Stepping the right foot forward to meet the left again and forward fold. Exploring the hamstrings, just a gentle rock here side to side. Slowly lifting all the way up through standing. Letting the palms meet at our heart center. Pause here for a breath. Beginning to explore our balance, finding tree pose. Let's start by rooting through the left foot, beginning to lead the right foot towards the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. A few rounds of breath here. Gently release the palms to the heart center. And switching sides, rooting through the right heel. Lifting the left toes up towards the ankle, the calf, or maybe the thigh. Continuing to lift out of the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Rooting through the standing leg without grasping through the toes. Find a place where we can find balance, where we're challenged but still successful. Inhale takes the fingertips again to the sky, and exhale, dive all the way forward over the legs. Stepping the left foot back. We'll lower ourselves into pigeon pose, breathing through the hips. Taking our time to set up the pose. Finding any modifications that we need, either seated or using a block under our hip. Slowly beginning to release the forearms down, and maybe even taking the forehead all the way down to the floor. Gently threading the left arm underneath the right, twisting through the upper spine, the thoracic spine. twisting the spine, walking the palms in, floating the right leg back, meeting in downward facing dog, to switch sides, floating the left foot forward, taking a moment to set up our pigeon pose on the opposite side, and finding seated pigeon with the ankle across the thigh, and maybe releasing down to the forehead. Noticing any areas of the body that may be still holding on to tension or stress. Trying to send our breath to these areas, releasing across the low back. Twisting the spine, walking the palms in, lift the crown of the head as we shift the leg forward, taking the soles of the feet together for cobbler's pose. As we exhale, begin to let the upper body fold over the legs, deepening into the stretch across the low back, again through the hips. Beginning to drop the chin down towards the chest, lengthening up through the back of the neck. Exploring the pose on our breath. One more full breath here, nice deep inhale, taking it in through the nose. Slowly walking the palms back in towards the body, drawing the knees together, and gently lowering the spine one vertebrae at a time down to the floor. Letting the knees drop over towards our right side, encouraging the shoulder down to the floor and bringing our gaze over the left fingertips. Leading the knees all the way over towards the left. Pressing the shoulders down, bringing our gaze over the right. Inhale leads us back through center, releasing the soles of the feet, lengthening the legs, the arms, coming into our Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. Today, Creator, help me to accept myself the way I am without judgment. Help me to accept my mind the way it is with all my emotions, my hopes, my dreams, and my unique personality. Help me to accept my body the way it is with all of its beauty and perfection. Today, Creator, clean my mind of emotional poison and self-judgment so that I can live in love and in peace. Let the love for myself be so strong that I never again reject myself or sabotage my happiness and personal freedom. Let me love and accept myself without judgment. With the power of self-love, let all my relationships be based on love and respect. Help me to let go of the need to tell others how to think and how to be. Let me accept the people I love just the way they are without judgment. Help me, Creator, to love everything you create without conditions, because when I reject your creation, I am rejecting you. Today, Creator, help me to start my life over with the power of self-love. Help me to explore life, to take risks, and to love myself unconditionally. Let me open my heart to the love that is my birthright so that I can share my love wherever I go.